Today on Full Flavored, I'm going to show you all how to make chicken Alfredo pasta right at home. I'm going to show you how to make your own pasta and your own homemade Alfredo. Alright, let's get started. First thing we're going to do for our chicken Alfredo is start off with our chicken. We got 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast. We got 2 tablespoons of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, 3 tablespoons of minced garlic, and 3 tablespoons of minced onion. And over here we have about 8 cups of water that we're bringing to a rolling boil. Now the first thing we're going to do while our water is starting to boil is we're going to add our kosher salt, cayenne, garlic, and our dry minced onion. Just going to want to give that a stir. Alright, now as you can see, our mixture has started to come to a boil. And what this is going to do is add a lot of flavor to this 1 pound of chicken. So as soon as it hits rolling boil, go ahead and add your 2 chicken breasts, 1 pound. Go ahead and set your timer for 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes of our rolling boil, just going to cut up our chicken. So you can tell it's nice and fully cooked. Next thing you're going to want to do is cut it into little cubes. Now after you have your nice thinly diced chicken, you're going to add it right back to the same pot that you boiled it in. What this is going to do is add flavor to every piece of chicken. You're going to want to leave it in there on about medium for another 5 minutes. Alright, now after your diced chicken is boiled, you're just going to want to strain it. Nice and moist and flavorful. It'll be perfect for this chicken Alfredo. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is get started on our Alfredo sauce. First thing you need is 4 tablespoons or half a stick of unsalted butter, 3 cups of heavy cream or heavy whipping cream, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 2 teaspoons of ground black pepper, and 2 cups of freshly grated Parmesan. The first thing you're going to want to do is put your pot on medium and just go ahead and throw in your butter there. Move it around till it melts. Now after your 4 tablespoons of butter have melted, you're going to want to add your heavy cream. I'm going to set it on medium-low and just wait till it comes to a boil. Alright, now after about 5 to 6 minutes, you can notice that our heavy cream and butter mixture is starting to boil. So we're going to go ahead and add our 2 cups of freshly grated Parmesan cheese. I'm going to slowly add it. And just on medium-low, you're just going to want to start stirring that in. Add a little bit more. And just keep doing this till all your cheese has been expended. Now after you added all your cheese, you're going to want to add your ground black pepper and your kosher salt. Alright, now you're just going to want to put that on low, let it simmer while you're finishing everything else. Give it a stir every now and then. And what you're left with here is beautifully rich, creamy, homemade Alfredo. Oh, that's good. Next thing we're going to do is start boiling our water for our pasta. Now over here we have about 15 cups of water. Really doesn't matter how much water you have, as long as whatever you're using to strain it comes over it about halfway. So for me it's about 15 cups. I'm going to go ahead and set that on medium-high and let that water start coming to a rolling boil. Alright, now to make your homemade pasta, you're going to want a food processor. You can also do another technique which is called the well technique. And basically there you make a little well just on a flat surface, and you put your eggs and your oil and everything, and you slowly whisk it in from the sides with a fork. But this is just an easier, more modern way of making pasta. To make your pasta, you're going to need 4 eggs, half a teaspoon of kosher salt, and 2 teaspoons of olive oil, as well as 3 cups of flour. First thing you're going to want to do to make your pasta is pour in your eggs. Now to make pasta, it's about 3/4 cup of flour per egg. You're going to want to add your oil. and your salt. Just going to want to pulse that. And to this, you're going to want to start slowly adding your flour a little bit at a time. Add a little bit less than half. Add a little bit more. What you'll actually start noticing is that it's starting to stiffen up just like that, and you're just going to, but you'll notice that it's still too sticky, so you want to add the rest of it. What you'll actually be left with is these little breadcrumbs, but this is exactly what you want. Alright, now after you make your little breadcrumbs inside here, you're going to want to take your blade out. You're just going to want to empty out all of your pasta dough. Alright, now you're going to just want to sprinkle a little bit of flour on your working surface. Just going to want to start kneading your dough into a ball. You can see it combines really well. This basically takes all the work out of making pasta dough by using a food processor. You can do it by hand, just be the same process but a little bit more work. Now if you notice your pasta dough is a little bit too dry, then you can just wet your hands just barely with a little bit of water. First thing you're going to want to do is with your pasta machine over here, you're going to want to divide your dough into about 4 pieces. Alright, now with each one, just going to want to beat it down into a rectangular shape. You're going to want to get your pasta dough in a rectangular shape about that thick, and you're going to want to start feeding it into your machine at the biggest setting, which is usually 1. Just feed it in. What you're left with is beautiful pasta dough right here. And you're going to want to fold it over on itself. Smack it back down. Do it twice. What you're trying to get is really, really silky pasta. Just going to fold it over this way. And feed it in one more time. Alright. Do it one more time without folding it over. Then you go to your next setting, 2. Start feeding it in. Alright, now look at that. Isn't that pretty? Fold it over, smack it down, feed it in. You want to do this at a continuous speed. Nice, smooth, silky pasta is what you're looking for. Go to 3. Fold it over, feed it in. Alright, now at about this point, you can just start feeding it in till you get to your desired thinness. I usually go till about 6 in my settings. Alright, what you have here is beautiful pasta. Look at that, it's so easy. Now if your pasta ends up being about that long, what you're going to want to do is cut it in half because you're going to have a pasta string that's too long to eat. Just cut it in half and feed it right through your machine like you normally would. Beautiful thin pasta. Now, once you get it, you can either choose to do your kind of angel hair pasta or your linguine. I'm going to go for the thicker setting on this. Just feed it right through. So you'll notice that it'll just come right out as beautiful, beautiful pasta. Alright, and there you folks have it. Look at that. Beautiful homemade pasta. Easy to do. And it's extremely cheap versus the stuff that you buy in stores. So, then you just rinse and repeat. Alright, so now over here we have our freshly made pasta. Look how beautiful it is. Nice and fresh. And over here we have our chicken that we boiled and we cut up and then we put it back into the boiling mixture. We're just going to go ahead and add all that chicken to our Alfredo sauce right now, so it can all become nice and evenly coated. So when we add it to the pasta, it'll all be really nice and melded. Alright, look at that. Nice. Alright, so to our 15 cups of boiling hot water over here, I'm going to go ahead and add our 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. This is just to season your water. Got a little stir. Over here we have our beautifully made pasta. Look at that. Oh, looks beautiful. We're just going to go ahead and start feeding that into our little metal strainer here. Now you'll notice when it starts to cook is when your rolling boil turns your pasta into a nice white color. And just stirring it around, making sure it doesn't stick to each other. Alright, now we've left it in there for about 3 minutes, and you'll notice we have a completely different color here. It's real nice and white. Alright, so then we're just going to add our pasta into our Alfredo. Make sure everything's nice and evenly coated. Mix it up. Alright, now look at that. Now with a few simple ingredients, you can make your own pasta, your own Alfredo. Beautiful chicken Alfredo. Alright, let's go ahead and plate ourselves some. Alright, now I just showed you guys how to make your own homemade pasta, your own homemade Alfredo. It's really easy. Alright, now we're just going to give this a little try. Get a little chicken for the fresh homemade pasta. Oh. Now if you've never had fresh pasta or homemade Alfredo sauce, you really need to try this. It couldn't get much easier. It just tastes wonderful. The creaminess of the Alfredo with the garlic, onion of the chicken, and the little bit of cayenne that we added to it. It just goes together really well. Well, thanks for joining me, you guys, and I hope to see you next time on Full Flavored. Thank you.